saw him bleeding through the window, cutting through the quiet of the midnight air. Pour another glass for me, my brother. I need to drown the ghost that is sitting in that chair. You keep telling me it takes a couple seasons, that the weather changes and the concrete dries, but you do not understand my stupid reasons for searching for a face in passing headlights.
I know you pull me out to break the cycle. I know you hate it when I check an empty screen, but every single tire screeching down the block reminds me of the night you tore apart the scene.
Do not look at me with pity across the table. I brought this bitter winter on myself, my friend. I wanna move along, but I am just not able. I am waiting for a message she will never send.
I see your silhouette inside the neon flicker. I taste the memory and all this cheaper liquor. So let me talk about it one more time tonight, before we pay the tab and step into the light.
Do you remember how she used to smile right there, spilling nice coffee on this exact same wood? I tried deleting all our pictures from the clouds, but honestly I never really understood. Stop telling me to swipe and find somebody new. You cannot paint over a masterpiece so fast. I swear to God I am telling you the bitter truth. I'm comfortably a prisoner living in the past.
I know you pull me out to break the cycle. I know you hate it when I check an empty screen, but every single tire screeching down the block reminds me of the night you tore apart the theme.
Do not look at me with pity across the table. I brought this bitter winter on myself, my friend. I wanna move along, but I am just not able. I am waiting for a message she will never send.
I see your silhouette inside the neon flicker. Taste the memory and all this cheaper liquor. So let me talk about it one more time tonight, before we pay the tab and step into the light.
Just let me vent until the final bottle drops. I promise I will fake a smile by Sunday noon, but right now the spinning inside my head never stops, and I am howling at the pavement and the moon.
Thanks for sitting in this smoky room with me. Thanks for hearing out this broken tragedy. Hear that distant taxi blowing its heavy horn, just another lonely driver in the freezing rain. I will pay the bill and we can walk out the door. Hold your advice until I sober up again.
I just miss her brother, nothing to disguise.
Just a fool with red rims around his tired eyes.
Let us grab our coats and button up the coat. This story is finished,
but it never gets too old.
Yeah. Roasted hazelnut lingers by the sliding glass door. He traces the scuff marks on the linoleum floor. Hands shoved deep inside a faded denim jacket, drowning out the sirens and the evening traffic racket. He buys two Americanos purely out of habit, realizes his mistake but decides to just grab it. Walking down the pavement with an extra plastic cup, staring at the concrete, terrified of looking up. She used to walk beside him on this very same street, matching the slow cadence of his shuffling feet. Now the wind blows cold right through the empty space, carrying the phantom image of her smiling face. He carries a ghost like a heavy winter coat, swallowing the words caught tight inside his throat. Every corner of the city holds a piece of their past, a beautiful illusion that was never meant to last. He drinks the bitter brew while the street lights glow, wishing he had never let her go. The rain begins to drizzle on the subway grate. He checks a broken watch as if he might be late, but there is no destination and nobody to meet. Just another Friday walking in an abandoned street. He pauses by the theater where they saw that indie flick. The sudden rush of memory hits him like a brick, her laughter echoing against the brick and mortar. He watches as the world gets darker and shorter. She used to hold his umbrella when the sky turned gray, promising that she would never fade away. Now the water drips off his collar to his chest, leaving him a prisoner inside his own regret. He carries her ghost like a heavy winter coat, swallowing the words caught tight inside his throat. Every corner of the city holds a piece of their past, a beautiful illusion that was never meant to last. He drinks the bitter brew while the street lights glow, wishing he had never let her go. Sometimes he dials the number saved inside his phone, just to hear the silence when he stands alone, pressing the red button before the ringing starts. A tiny act of cowardice for two divided hearts. The street sweepers passing with a yellow flashing beam, washing away the fragments of a broken dream. He carries a ghost like a heavy winter coat, swallowing the words caught tight inside his throat. Every corner of the city holds a piece of their past, a beautiful illusion that was never meant to last. He drinks the bitter brew while the street lights glow, wishing he had never let her go. The hazelnut fades into the damp city air. He leaves a second coffee on a vacant park chair, stepping into the shadows of the neon sign, leaving the memory of her far behind, but knowing he will do it all again tomorrow, trapped inside the cycle of this quiet sorrow. Yeah. Absolute stillness shatters when your face projects across my ceiling. A sudden memory piercing the quiet like a harsh spotlight revealing. Dust dancing in the heavy beam, panning down to the wooden floor. Camera drifts toward the leather jacket you left by the door. Close up on the silver zipper, catching the amber street glow.
I am the lonely director watching our history flow. The radiator hums a low drone beneath the slashing montage, framing the emptiness of my heart inside this cold garage.
Flashback scene to a crosswalk in the middle of a city night.
Headlights blurring into ribbons of cinematic light.
You step into the frame, smiling right through the pouring weather.
Now the footage fades to static, tearing the celluloid together. I keep rewinding the vintage reels of us, playing the climax in this dark apartment, missing your touch.
Cut to the screaming jump, cut to the slamming door.
I aggressively edit the ending so you are mine once more. Oh, the script is torn to pieces, the camera focus is gone, trapped inside the sequence, playing from dusk until dawn.
Wide angle lens capturing my isolated silhouette on the couch. Monochrome filter applied to the apologies, leaving my mouth. Depth of field shifts to the coffee table in a spilled glass, tracing the timeline of exactly where our narrative crashed. Rack focus to the digital clock, blinking exactly 2 past.
Tracking shot through the empty hallway where shadows are cast. Every single frame bleeds with the ghost of your hand in mine. A perfectly composed tragedy frozen by the limits of time.
Flashback scene to a crosswalk in the middle of a city night.
Headlights blurring into ribbons of cinematic light.
You step into the frame, smiling right through the pouring weather.
Now the footage fades to static, tearing the celluloid together. I keep rewinding the vintage reels of us, playing the climax in this dark apartment, missing your touch. Cut to the screaming jump, cut to the slamming door. I aggressively edit the ending so you are mine once more. The script is torn to pieces, the camera focus is gone, trapped inside the sequence, playing from dusk until
I try to yell cut, I try to walk off the painted set, strike the overhead lights, dismantle every single regret, but your laugh lingers inside the overhead boom light.
documenting the exact ruins of what our love looked like. I replay the tapes until the film begins to burn and melt, searching the background for a hidden emotion you never felt.
The screen goes completely dark, roll the closing credits on a beautifully directed tragedy.
The vintage projector finally cools down, complete silence floods the room again,
Still seated in the front row,
waiting for a sequel.
Yeah, gravity sinks his heavy chair into the floor, writing the note to the kid that I was before. You think you have endless time with her right now, making a promise you will easily break somehow. You leave her standing outside in the winter chill, while you were chasing your fame up another hill. Stop exactly where you are and turn around. Keep both the feet and your ego up on the ground. Do not let her walk away on Tuesday night. Swallow your pride and apologize to make it right. If you fail to listen to this warning bell, you will be locked in a solitary empty cell. Yeah, this is a letter to the ghost I used to be, begging for a different ending to our history. Hold her hand tightly before it slips away. Tell her the words you were far too scared to say, because if you let her step onto that midnight train, you will be trapped in a cycle of endless pain. Save us the heartbreak and pull her to your chest. Give her the love that you know she deserves best. Yeah, right now she smiles every time you say her name. Do not turn that devotion into a petty game. I am speaking to you from an empty room, drowning in regret and a cloud of bitter gloom. You think your music and money will keep you warm, but they do nothing against this quiet storm. Put down the pen and go look her in the eye. I promise you will never ever say goodbye. Time travel only exists upon a single page, written in ink with the heavy blend of grief and rage. I cannot fix what is already permanently broken, but you can still speak the apologies left unspoken. Change the timeline and erase this heavy guilt. Save the fragile sanctuary that we carefully built. The chair feels heavier with every word I write, knowing you will not receive this letter tonight. I am stuck in the future, missing everything we had. Just a foolish older version who made her sad. Fold up the paper and leave it in the dark, paying the price for destroying the fragile spark. Crimson neon bleeds across this damp coaster, holding my third glass tonight. And no man says one stool away, caught in that bitter scarlet light. He asks if I am doing fine, noticing the way I stare in space. I tell him about the way you left, and now time cannot erase your face. I pour a shot and slide it right across the wood, tell him I would erase the memories if I could. He nods his head and takes a sip of cheap liquor, asking why my shaking hands always seem to flicker when the tavern door swings open wide, hoping it is you stepping inside. I tell a stranger all my deepest fears about the girl who kept me anchored through the years. She left a ghost inside my empty one-room flat. I cannot figure out just where my heart is at. He listens close while neon flickers on the street. I say I miss the way your footsteps used to meet. There is no medicine to cure a missing piece. I pay the tab and pray for some release. The stranger asks how long it has been. I count the months upon my hands. 600 days since we fell apart, but my chest still misunderstands. He laughs a dry and hollow sound, says he lost his wife in 99. Tells me the bleeding never stops, we just get better at crossing the line between the past and what is real. Learning how to fake the things we feel. I pour another round and slide across the wood, tell him I would erase the smiling if I could. He taps the glass and wipes a drop of cheap liquor, tells me youth is just a candle burning quicker. Every time the door swings wide, we hide the broken parts inside. I tell a stranger all my deepest fears about the girl who kept me anchored through the years. She left a ghost inside my empty one-room flat. I cannot figure out just where my heart is at. He listens close while neon flickers on the street. I say I miss the way our footsteps used to meet. There is no medicine to cure a missing piece. I pay the tab and pray for some release. We sit in silence for a minute, maybe 10. Two broken strangers trading stories of back when. He buttons up his coat and grabs his walking cane, tells me to stop looking for shelter in the rain. Says she is gone and I must walk the block alone until this borrowed skin finally feels like my home. The crimson neon fades out into black. I know she is never coming back. Thank the man I watch him fade into the night. Left alone beneath the flickering street light, still staring at the empty sea, missing the rhythm of her feet, pouring a final drop of gin, wondering where I finally begin. They told me yesterday the weather would change. A cold front moving across the district limits. I just nodded and watched the traffic light cycle red to green and back to red again. My left shoe has a scuff on the heel. The pavement cracks form a spiderweb pattern. There is a discarded receipt by the storm drain. I notice everything now that you are gone. The silence amplified by tiny frequencies. The refrigerator motor kicks into high gear. Water drips slowly from the kitchen faucet. These microscopic moments stretch into decades, measuring the space where your voice belongs. Small things collect in corners of the room. Dust particles suspended in the gray light. A stray hair trapped against the floorboard. The indentation on the velvet sofa cushion. I catalog each tiny broken detail, because the massive void of losing you is far too large for me to look at directly. So I focus on the static in the air. The barista used 2 pumps of syrup today instead of the usual 3 we used to order. Passing dog bark twice at a pigeon. The minute hand on my watch stutters backward. 3 books are leaning crooked on the shelf. One features your handwriting in the margins. Blue ink bleeding through the paper fibers. The corner page 40 is folded down. Silence amplified by tiny frequencies. The neighbor dropping keys against their door. Wind rattling the loose glass in the window. These microscopic moments stretch into decades, measuring the space where your voice belongs. Small things collect in corners of the room. Dust particles suspended in the gray light. A stray hair trapped against the floorboard. The indentation on the velvet sofa cushion. I catalog each tiny broken detail, because the massive void of losing you is far too large for me to look at directly. So I focus on the static in the air. If I stare close enough at the wallpaper seam, I do not have to think about December. If I count the ridges on this ceramic mug, I can't pretend the timeline never fractured. Every tiny observation builds a fortress, keeping the broader tragedy out of frame. Just looking down at my own 2 hands, tracing the intersecting lines across my palms. They told me yesterday it might rain tonight. The sky is holding 50 shades of iron. A single drop hits the window pane, a track its path down the glass. Slow and deliberate, I'm counting them all until they blur together. Rough cotton fibers scratch against my bare skin, tracing the worn out patch where your elbow had been. The thread is unraveling just like my peace of mind. Pulling a single string leaves a memory behind. Suddenly the apartment floor dissolves in the snow. We are standing by the station watching the evening glow. Your head resting gentle right onto this exact sleeve, promising us forever that we cannot retrieve. The tactile sensation breaks through the present day. Fabric holds on to warmth in a terrifying way. I close my eyes and the weave turns to your touch. Remembering the weight of it hurts me too much. Woven inside every garment is a ghost of your face, trapped in the stitches of a time and a place. Washing the sweaters, can I cleanse or regret the fibers? Remember what the heart must forget. I fold them up neatly and hide them away, but the texture of you is demanding to stay. Warping the weft of a love out of line, tying your absence directly to mine. Tracing a pattern of corduroy ridges in the dark. Every uneven groove is a tiny little spark. Flashback to December when we walked through the street, matching our footsteps to a slow steady beat. Your hand in my pocket sharing the limited heat. Now this empty jacket is an admission of defeat. I smell the dry cleaning chemicals masking the past, trying to pretend that our fabric was built to last. But the stitches come loose where the promises fell, leaving me stranded in a story I cannot retell. The tactile sensation breaks through the present day. Fabric holds on to warmth in a terrifying way. I close my eyes and the weave turns to your touch. Remembering the weight of it hurts me too much. Woven inside every garment is a ghost of your face. Trapped in the stitches of a time and a place. Washing the sweat is can cleanse or regret. The fibers remember what the heart must forget. I fold them up neatly and hide them away, but the texture of you is demanding to stay. Warping the weft of a love out of line, tying your absence directly to mine. Cut with the scissors of silence and pride, nowhere remaining for the tailor to hide. My closet is acting like a gallery of grief. Every torn button is a stolen belief. I wrap myself tightly in the cold static cling, wishing this fabric could change anything. The nylon is rigid and the silk is too thin. Nothing can replicate the warmth of your skin. Woven inside every garment is a ghost of your face. Trapped in the stitches of a time and a place. Washing the sweat is can cleanse or regret. The fibers remember what the heart must forget. I fold them up neatly and hide them away, but the texture of you is demanding to stay. Warping the weft of a love out of line, tying your absence directly to mine. Letting the fabric slip right out of my hand. Back to reality I can barely withstand. The cotton is silent and the room is just cold. A story in textiles that already got told. A frayed piece of string that I cannot let go. The only real piece of the past that I know. Yeah. 3:15 flashes on the digital dial beside my bed. Blue light painting shadows of the words we never said. I close my tired eyes and project a distant scene. Fast forward through this empty space to 2033. You were walking down a crowded street in a heavy coat, holding someone else's hand while the city gently floats. I am standing by the crosswalk waiting for the sign. Our eyes lock for a second right across the borderline. Will my heart still drop the way it does tonight? When the timeline shifts and brings you into sight, I wonder if you will smile and gently nod your head, or if you will turn your face away instead. Someday in the future we will finally collide, brushing past the memories we tried so hard to hide. I will ask you how the city treated you so far. You will notice I am still driving that same old beat-up car. It will be a casual exchange of where we currently are, but underneath my chest you will always be the scar. A future passing moment I'm rehearsing in the dark, just to prepare myself for that inevitable spark. 4 o'clock approaches and the vision starts to blur. I script our conversation, but I'm not entirely sure if I will have the courage to ask about your dreams, or if I will just unravel them I carefully stitched the seams. Maybe we will sit inside a quiet diner down the street, ordering the bitter dark roast we always like to drink. You will tell me that you made it to the top of your career. I will say I'm doing fine and swallow down a tear. Will my heart still drop the way it does tonight? When the timeline shifts and brings you into sight, I wonder if you will smile and gently nod your head, or if you will turn your face away instead. Someday in the future we will finally collide, brushing past the memories we tried so hard to hide. I will ask you how the city treated you so far. You will notice I am still driving that same old beat-up car. It will be a casual exchange of where we currently are, but underneath my chest you will always be the scar. A future passing moment I'm rehearsing in the dark, just to prepare myself for that inevitable spark. Time is just an ocean we are swimming, trying not to drown. Every wave brings me closer to the day you come around. Even if it takes another decade of this silent pain, I will build a time machine inside my tired brain, because picturing our reunion is the only way I cope. A tragic little fantasy sustained by foolish hope. The glowing red digits finally turn to 4:15, the longest sleepless night that my bedroom has ever seen. I will see you in the future when the weather turns to spring. Until then I will practice the words I plan to bring. Our future collision is my favorite tragedy, waiting for the day you become a stranger. next to me. Yeah. The silver hairpin resting by my keyboard catches the glow from the monitor screen. I should have thrown it in the drawer a month ago, but I let it sit right where you left it. Late night scrolling through the feed in the dark, your name popped up, but I scrolled right past it, lying to myself that the chest pain stopped, but my fingers hover over the space bar. Pausing the track because I thought I heard your voice, just the wind rattling the cracked window pane. The calendar pages turn to dust. I'm still trapped in December 22nd, buying 2 coffees out of stupid reflex. Drinking mine cold and pouring yours down the drain, telling the mirror I am doing fine, but my reflection refuses to make eye contact. Because every corner of this studio apartment holds a piece of the gravity you left behind. I memorize the way you tie your shoelaces. I memorize the order you play your playlist. Now I'm just a ghost haunting my own living room, chasing the shadow of a love I could not keep. My pulse keeps time with a broken clock, waiting for you to unlock the front door. Yeah. I tried rewriting my daily routine, took a different route to the subway station, switched from iced Americano to matcha lattes, but the barista still asked where you went today. I forced a smile and said you moved away, half-truth cut in the back of my throat, swallowing the bitter reality whole. Scrolling our chat history all the way to the top, before the arguments stained the text bubbles blue, when we only communicated in jokes and diner dates. The calendar pages turn to dust. I'm still trapped in December 22nd, buying 2 coffees out of stupid reflex. Drinking mine cold and pouring yours down the drain, telling the mirror I am doing fine, but my reflection refuses to make eye contact. Because every corner of the studio apartment holds a piece of the gravity you left behind. I memorize the way you tie your shoelaces. I memorize the order you play your playlist. Now I'm just a ghost haunting my own living room, chasing the shadow of a love I could not keep. My pulse keeps time with a broken clock, waiting for you to unlock the front door. Memory is a thief with the master key, stealing my focus when I need to meet deadlines, typing up documents while my brain loops your laughter. Trying to delete the cache in my head, formatting the hard drive on my chest, but the backup files restore themselves at midnight. A virus of nostalgia I refuse to cure, because curing it means forgetting you entirely. In every corner of this studio apartment holds a piece of the gravity you left behind. I memorize the way you tie your shoelaces. I memorize the order you play your playlist. Now I'm just a ghost haunting my own living room, chasing the shadow of a love I could not keep. My pulse keeps time with a broken clock, waiting for you to unlock the front door. The hairpin still catches the monitor light. I finally reach out and pick it up. Cold metal pressing into my palm, putting it inside my coat pocket, carrying a fragment of your existence, until I learn how to breathe again. Sweet vanilla tobacco hangs heavily in his path. Walking past the market with empty hands, he checks the screen that refuses to light up, searching for the place where the wreckage stands. His footsteps fall totally out of tempo, shoulders sinking low as the wind turns cold. He wears her old favorite oversized sweater, hoping the fabric still holds the story she told. People brush past him on the crowded crosswalk. He stands completely still among the blur. Everything around him continues spinning forward, but his timeline permanently stopped at her. He traces her outline upon the concrete, following ghosts down the late night street. Every glass window shows a beautiful lie, a parallel world where she never said goodbye. He buys 2 lattes just from force of habit, and leaves the second cup upon the bench, drowning in a sea of unspoken regret, fighting a fever that he cannot quench. Yeah. The neon signs flicker, painting the pavement red. He walks forward with a terribly heavy tread, remembering the diner where they used to eat, when their shared life felt wonderfully complete. Now he is just a shadow missing half his heart, riding the night transit from the ending line, watching the city slowly tear itself apart, wishing he could turn back the hands of time. People brush past him on the crowded crosswalk. He stands completely still among the blur. Everything around him continues spinning forward, but his timeline permanently stopped at her. He traces her outline upon the concrete, following ghosts down the late night street. Every glass window shows a beautiful lie, a parallel world where she never said goodbye. He buys 2 lattes just from force of habit, and leaves the second cup upon the bench, drowning in a sea of unspoken regret, fighting a fever that he cannot quit. They never told him how the memories decay, how they fragment into jagged little shards. He plays the final audio file on repeat, a lonely gambler holding useless scars. The late night workers watch him sitting there, a quiet picture of an empty shell. He clicks a lighter but it does not spark, trapped inside a beautifully crafted hell. Yeah. The vanilla tobacco finally fades away. He puts his dead phone deep inside his coat, walking toward an apartment that stays totally dark, unable to swallow the lump in his throat. He goes to sleep, expecting nothing more, just the heavy silence behind a locked door. Yeah, that quiet snaps when a sudden thought intrudes, a rapid mental cut to your hands against my neck, establishing shot of this empty city apartment. Dust most dancing inside the street lamp glow. I play a final argument backward in slow motion. The script says I recover, but I drop the pages. Zooming in close on the porcelain coffee cup, 2 faded lipstick stains we never washed away. The director yells cut, but the audio keeps bleeding. My shallow depth of field is pulling back to yesterday. I am watching our movie on a broken projector, flickering scenes in a 24 frame second. You walk out the door in a single continuous take, leaving me stranded on this artificial set. No background score to drown out the heavy regret, just the rolling credits of a love we managed to wreck. Penning across the scattered fashion magazines, editorials you used to read out loud on Sunday. Color grading shifts to a melancholy winter blue. The focal length blurs out everyone in the crowd except you. I try editing the timeline to erase the final fight, splicing the digital film where we walked into the night, but the original cut is burned into the master drive. A documentary of how we failed to survive, tracking shot down the hallway where you stood, a suitcase packing sequence I deeply misunderstood. The director yells cut, but the audio keeps bleeding. My shallow depth of field is pulling back to yesterday. I am watching our movie on a broken projector, flickering scenes in a 24 frame second. You walk out the door in a single continuous take, leaving me stranded on this artificial set. No background score to drown out the heavy regret, just the rolling credits of a love we managed to wreck. Overexposed lighting washes out my own reflection. Jump cut to the balcony and dish a cigarette. Visual effects, can I fix this kind of severed connection? Every single frame is heavy with the things we never said. I am locked inside the editing booth, pressing rewind, burning through the celluloid of my deteriorating mind. space. No sequel in production for this endless winter weather. Dead quiet returns. The screen goes dark without your face. Cut to black. Cut to black. Who decides when the memory expires? Because my brain keeps glitching back to autumn. Leaves stuck under my worn out sneakers. Traffic light blinking yellow at the intersection. I should cross the street but my feet feel cemented. You said you hated waiting at crosswalks. Now I stand here letting the cars rush past me. Wind hitting my collar making me realize my coat still smells exactly like your shampoo. Why am I analyzing the wind direction? Just trying to find an excuse for watering eyes. Text box blinking a steady rhythm. Backspace every single word I type out. I throw my phone into my pocket. Count the cracks along the concrete pavement. Everything connects right back to you. My thoughts running in infinite loops. Stream of consciousness bleeding into night. Following your shadow under street lamps. I'm talking to a ghost in my passenger seat. Tune in the radio to stations you used to play. Nothing makes sense without your gravity floating away in this metropolitan maze. Just a body moving through the static, hoping to collide with your coordinates again. Neon signs reflecting in the puddles. Blue and red mixing together into purple. Purple was the sweater you bought me last winter. I stuffed it in the bottom drawer of my dresser. But out of sight does not mean out of mind. The algorithm keeps adjusting places we went. Coffee shop down on 4th Avenue. Did you know they changed the furniture inside? You would probably hate the new wooden tables. I order my drink black instead of sweet. Trying to rewrite my own habits to forget you. Bitter taste on my tongue failing miserably. Text box blinking a steady rhythm. Backspace every single word I type out. I'll throw my phone into my pocket. Count the cracks along the concrete pavement. Everything connects right back to you. My thoughts running in infinite loops. Stream of consciousness bleeding into night. Following your shadow under street lamps. I'm talking to a ghost in my passenger seat. Tune in the radio to stations you used to play. Nothing makes sense without your gravity floating away in this metropolitan maze. Just a body moving through the static, hoping to collide with your coordinates again. I jump from thought to survive the hour. But every bridge I build just leads to your door. The moon looks like a coin flipped in the air, landing on tails every single time I guess heads. Random variables making a fool of my logic. I try to sleep but the mattress feels too empty. Counting sheep turns into counting your eyelashes. I stare at the ceiling tracing your silhouette. Where did the time actually go? I'm still standing at the crosswalk. Light turns red again. My hands in my pockets. City moving forward. I am entirely paused. Just looping your name. Looping your name until the signal fades. The immense weight of this leather chair anchors me to the floor. Drafting a desperate note to the kid walking toward her door. Listen closely to the pen strokes, because I know the bitter end. You think you have endless time to watch a fractured heart mend. She is standing by the entryway, adjusting her oversized scarf. You were looking at your phone, pretending you do not care enough. Put the device deep in your pocket and look her in the eyes. I am speaking from a distant future where she finally says her goodbyes. You believe you are the protagonist of a cinematic romantic film, but I am trapped inside the sequel where the lighting is constantly dim. Do not let her turn the brass knob and step out into the rain, because 1,000 days from now I am still drowning in this pain. Read this before you walk away and let your ego in. Do not commit my original, absolutely unforgivable sin. Grab her by the shoulder and declare she is your entire world. Stop acting like a stoic statue with your raw feelings tightly curled up. before our misery is complete. Yeah, you think total silence makes you masculine and mystery makes you cool. I'm writing from a barren apartment to tell you that you are a fool. Tonight she cooks your favorite dinner and waits awake until 11. You will strolling, complaining about traffic while you lose a piece of heaven. Go buy the yellow tulips from the corner shop. She silently adores. Tell her the reason you hustle is so she never has to settle scores. Yeah, pay attention to the slight tremble when she asks if you are alright. Do not brush it off defensively and retreat to the bedroom for the night. You believe you are the protagonist of a cinematic romantic film, but I am trapped inside the sequel where the lighting is constantly dim. Do not let it turn the brass knob and step out into the rain, because 1,000 days from now I am still drowning in this pain. Read this before you walk away and let your ego in. Do not commit my original, absolutely unforgivable sin. Grab her by the shoulder and declare she is your entire world. Stop acting like a stoic statue with your raw feelings tightly curled. I'm sending these warnings backward through the biting midnight air, begging my stubborn past self to show her that we truly care. She will not wait forever on that frozen concrete street. Stop the timeline right now before our misery is complete. Yeah, tear up the scripture memorized about being a lone wolf surviving the city. The only thing surviving here is self-inflicted hollow pity. Hold the heavy door open and tell her the space is cold without her voice. Make the vulnerability loud before she finalizes her parting choice. I am staring at the exact same wallpaper you are staring at right now. Just make a different decision and rewrite our destiny somehow. Read this before you walk away and let your ego in. Do not commit my original, absolutely unforgivable sin. Grab her by the shoulder and declare she is your entire world. Stop acting like a stoic statue with your raw feelings tightly curled. I'm sending these warnings backward through the biting midnight air, begging my stubborn past self to show her that we truly care. She will not wait forever on that frozen concrete street. Stop the timeline right now before our misery is complete. The ink is finally running dry and my hands are growing numb. I pray this message reaches the person I used to become. Just hold her close tonight. Do exactly what I failed to do. Save us both from this empty room. Yeah. Amber street lamps paint the vinyl seats, an artificial warmth against my skin. The driver looks through his rearview mirror, asks if I am heading home again. He says I look like someone hollowed out, losing focus in the passing blur. I tell him about the scent of rain and how this route belongs to her. The meter clicks in rhythm with my pulse. He turns the dial to lower the radio, saying heartbreak leaves a quiet mark that only other lonely people know. Stranger behind the wheel, shifting the gears. Do you have a cure for phantom hands? She used to trace the map across my palm, making me believe in future plans. Now I pay the fare just to keep moving, afraid of what awaits at my address. Tell me how you drive through all this dark without feeling crushed by emptiness. Yeah, he stops at a red light by the bridge, taps his fingers on the steering wheel, tells me time will act as camouflage, but cannot change the way the metal feels. I ask him if he ever loved so hard that breathing felt like drawing broken glass. He smiles a sad and sideways kind of smile, watching the illuminated buildings pass. The meter clicks in rhythm with my pulse. He turns the dial to lower the radio, saying heartbreak leaves a quiet mark that only other lonely people know. Stranger behind the wheel, shifting the gears. Do you have a cure for phantom hands? She used to trace the map across my palm, making me believe in future plans. Now I pay the fare
disconnect our lives, wrapped in the night. He hands me a tissue from the dash, noticing the water catching light. He says the memory will fade to gray, but both of us are fully well aware some ghosts refuse to leave the passenger side and stay suspended in the midnight air. Stranger behind the wheel, shifting the gears. Do you have a cure for phantom hands? She used to trace the map across my palm, making me believe in future plans. Now I pay the fare just to keep moving, afraid of what awaits at my address. Tell me how you drive through all this dark without feeling crushed by emptiness. The engine idles by my apartment block. He takes the cash and wishes me the best. Step out into the freezing wind, feeling the familiar ache inside my chest. The taillights disappear around the bend, taking the only comfort I could find, leaving me alone upon the curb, with her shadow walking right behind.
My coworker mentioned yesterday my voice sounds a little distant when we speak, like the signal drops out by choice, or the battery is running weak. I started keeping track of the apartment, writing down the things I CDK. The rug is misaligned in the compartment where you used to drop your keys every day. A faint coffee stain on the wooden table, a loose thread pulling on the sofa seam. The TV is disconnected from the cable. My reality is glitching like a dream. The delivery menu sitting in the drawer, your umbrella leaning crooked by the door. I memorized the physics of this pace, searching for the ghost of your face. One less jacket hanging on the rack, one less shadow walking down the hall. Every single item whispers you are not coming back. I am a curator of a kingdom bound to fall. The charging wire resting on the floor, the half-burned candle on the vanity, a quiet lock clicking on a heavy door. Counting every detail slowly ruins me. Two expired yogurts in the fridge, a crack developing across the ceiling paint. The distance growing into an endless bridge, while the scent of your lotion goes faint. I found a cinema ticket in my winter coat. I found a silver ring you thought was lost. I stare at the cursive of the final note, calculating everything this breakup cost. The water pressure drops at 7 p.m. The neighbor plays acoustic guitar. I hear the melancholy of the requiem, wishing I could drive out in my car. One less jacket hanging on the rack, one less shadow walking down the hall. Every single item whispers you are not coming back. I am a curator of a kingdom bound to fall. The charging wire resting on the floor, the half-burned candle on the vanity, a quiet lock clicking on a heavy door. Counting every detail slowly ruins me. Yeah, but the dashboard clock is 6 minutes fast, and the passenger seat is covered in dust. I am entirely surrounded by the past, living in a monument to rust. A single pair of shoes sitting by the mat, a photograph tucked beneath a book. The world is completely flat everywhere I ever try to look. The street lamp flickers right at midnight. The radiator hisses through the gloom. Everything is bathed in artificial light, an endless inventory of an empty room. I document the spaces you left bare, wishing you were standing right there. Frayed denim rubs against my knuckles, tracing the rip seams right by the buckle. Suddenly the apartment dissolves completely, pulling me back to November 20. You are sitting upon the tumbling machine, wearing the vintage corduroy in forest green. The ridges of the fabric under my palm, before the quiet storm disrupted our calm. I feel the static building up in the dark, just a single touch, creating a spark. The scent of laundry soap hits my brain, rewriting the present with your name. I close my eyes but the picture remains, trapped inside this emotional domain. Threads pulling me backward through the years, stitching your silhouette in my atmosphere. A broken film reel playing on repeat, reconstructing memories on this empty street. I am tangled up in what we left behind, a hostage to the tailor of my mind. Spin cycle vibrating against the floor. We talked about flying to a distant shore. Your fingertips picking lint from my sleeve, building a future I wanted to believe. Now this silent room feels like a vault, preserving every beautiful scar and fault. I trace the exact spot where you used to lean, watching the ghost of you command the scene. The heavy wool sweater you left on the bed still carries the weight of the words you said. The scent of laundry soap hits my brain, rewriting the present with your name. I close my eyes but the picture remains, trapped inside this emotional domain. That's pulling me backward through the years, stitching your silhouette in my atmosphere. A broken film reel playing on repeat, reconstructing memories on this empty street. I am tangled up in what we left behind, a hostage to the tailor of my mind. I reach out to grab your delicate wrist, my fingers close around the shadow I kiss. The whole illusion scatters into dust and air, leaving me stranded on this wooden chair. Time is a thief wearing a perfect disguise, flashing your smile right in front of my eyes. Everything unravels at a frightening pace, leaving me stuck in this physical space. Smooth polyester lines, my empty pockets, staring blankly at the wall in the sockets. The memory folds itself neatly away, waiting in the wardrobe for a colder day. Frayed denim at the edge of the tear, wishing you were still standing right here. Yeah. Watching 12:01 replace the midnight hour. I project my mind into a distant winter shower. A decade past this heavy, suffocating silence. I picture walking through some crowded subway island in a winter coat I have not even purchased yet, holding the espresso bought with currency from tomorrow. And suddenly your face appears among the silhouettes, while my breathing still betray me in my sorrow. Every scenario ends with me freezing in place, studying the microscopic changes on your face. I construct these future timelines just to bleed, because moving forward is the very thing I can see. 10 years from tonight I will probably still love you, sitting in a self-driving taxi on the overpass, wondering if your passenger seat is finally taken. Wondering if you still trace the condensation on the glass. I am borrowing grief from a time that does not exist, just to keep your memory from fading in a static mist. My tomorrow is completely painted with your absence. Let us skip ahead to a middle-aged reflection, silver strands mixing into your dark complexion. Maybe we bump shoulders at a busy boarding gate. I am wearing glasses and resigning to my fate. The magnetic pull ignores the passage of the years. I script the dialogue in my head to block the tears. I would say I made peace with a sudden disconnection, but my trembling hands will ruin the perfection. Every scenario ends when they're freezing in place, studying the microscopic changes on your face. I construct the future timelines just to bleed, because moving forward is the very thing I can see. 10 years from tonight I will probably still love you, sitting in a self-driving taxi on the overpass, wondering if your passenger seat is finally taken. Wondering if you still trace the condensation on the glass. I am borrowing grief from a time that does not exist, just to keep your memory from fading in staticness. My tomorrow is completely painted with your absence. I cannot survive the present because you walked away. I cannot review the past without feeling the decay. So I build these imaginary bridges to a distant year, hoping time travel functions on the engine of a tear. If I imagine art enough, maybe the universe aligns and snaps us back together, crossing all the boundary lines. The red digits finally shift to 12:02. Another single minute wasted in a world without you. I close my eyes and book a ticket to our future, where maybe this time you decide to stay, waiting for the years to pass to miss you all over again. Endlessly rehearsing our reunion in my brain.